If you have time, since you're
Yeah,
on here
yeah.
with us, why don't you help us with some predictions here on this card tonight?
Okay, what's up?
On.
Let's get there.
Well,
We
what
go.
the hell? Why did you take me off air?
That wasn't me. I'm telling you, this
Because we
stream
need to
is
talk.
glitching, bro.
We want to talk about you without you listening in.
No,
Yeah,
well, that's the bad
wrong.
thing. I'm in the green room. I can hear you.
This guy.
Jesus. But it's okay if you're talking about me. That means any publicity is good publicity. Trust me.
That's a lie. That is a lie.
No, I don't believe
Look
that.
at Puff
No.
Daddy. Look at Vince McMahon. Look at Vince McMahon. All publicity is not good publicity.
Mm.
Okay.
In that case, I get what you're
Some
saying. But,
controversy sells tickets or whatever the saying goes, but not
in my case, it's worked out. I'll put it that
Okay.
way. In my case, it's worked out very well.
Well, Ron, let's get into these predictions, shall we?
All right, you got control over it, brother.
I know. I see it now. I'm pulling it up. Look at this.
All right.
All right. So the first one that we have up right here, Baby Lotion Brown versus Aaron Biggs. It's gonna be a fun match. Ron and I talked a little bit about it.
Look, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was pretty much it. We talked a little bit about it. What are your thoughts? I just realized you're like,
let me tell you something. Some of two of my top 5 favorite matches in my 18-year career was against Aaron Biggs in WVCW in Bluefield, West Virginia. That dude, if he's anywhere near as good as he was a couple years ago, man, this Baby Lotion, and I've seen Baby Lotion Brown, but he doesn't stand a chance. When Aaron Biggs is on, man, he is on, and he's one of the few big 300+ pound guys that is deceptively quick. Mm-hmm. Guys like him, Jeter, they're just deceptively quick for their size, man. Mm-hmm. And you see Aaron Biggs, and you think that he's just gonna be moving and lumbering around, and he just, bam, he takes off on you. So I'm gonna go with Aaron Biggs on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one, especially after seeing him at the last showing. He had an amazing matchup at Foothills Wrestling Alliance. Like you said, he has such a presence, but he can move so quickly. And the tenacity that he has, it's gonna come in handy, especially against Baby Lotion Brown. Baby Lotion is gonna want to use his speed, that lotion that he has on. And he's going to play mind games. I know Baby Lotion. He's going to try to make Aaron Biggs mad, make a mistake, and probably try to capitalize on that. But
after this match, he should change his name to Shea Butter. Shea Butter Brown, baby.
Shea Butter. I kind of like that. Shea Butter Brown. Yeah. Let's pitch that to him.
Hashtag that as well. Shea Butter Brown.
Lord. I don't know about all that now. Because isn't that shit's copyright infringement?
What, Shea Butter?
No, it's not.
Shea Butter is.
No, it's not. Look, first of all, stay out the culture. Stay out the culture.
I was about to say that. He doesn't understand, Huck. It's okay. It's okay.
Stay out the culture.
My bad. I'll stay in my lane.
Next match. Jesus. Culture Inc. versus Vicious and Delicious.
Now, okay, who is Culture Inc.? Is that what's the name, son and nephew? Who is that? No, they're from Florida, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the kids from Florida I've been hearing about, man. Because in my travels and stuff, I hear about other tag teams. They're really good, man.
They're crazy good. I don't know. Last time I saw him was at Firestar Pro Wrestling.
See, I don't know about Vicious. I've never seen Vicious and Delicious team up, but I've heard a lot of good things about Culture Inc.
Yeah, I got to go with you on that one too, because man, Caden Pierre is a hell of a talent.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that Caden can handle his own.
But
when you're talking about a seasoned tag team like Culture Inc. versus, how well do Vicious and Delicious work together? You know what I mean? That's kind of my thing. It's tag team.
And you're 100% right. Like sometimes you can have two really amazing singles wrestlers and they not gel as a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a legitimate tag team where these guys train together, they live together, they wrestle together, they travel on the roads together, and they know each other better than they know themselves, like it's hard to beat a team with that kind of connection, man.
Agreed. They're the well-oiled machine, and I think that they're more cohesive team. But Caden is no stranger to tag team action. You know, the Pink
He's
Gang.
not.
Hell, I was against a tag team matchup against him. It was me and previously known as Natalina Corvino versus him and Jamal the Titan, and it was a hard match. Let me tell you. Going up against that.
Like I said, I'm not saying that Caden is not an exceptional wrestler. I've seen him since he first started with Firestar, and then when he started traveling up to West Virginia and wrestling for a couple of friends from out up in West Virginia, he's an amazing talent. My only thing is, Vicious and Delicious is not they're not a tag team like Culture Inc. is, where these two, where Vicious and Delicious travel up and down the roads together.
Agreed. So I'm gonna have to give the advantage here to the more cohesive team, Culture Inc.
Yep, I gotta go with Culture.
But knowing Caden, there's gonna be some shenanigans. There will be shenanigans.
Yeah. I will say this: if Vicious and Delicious gives one of the guys from Culture Inc. They pull him away from the pack and get him by himself, I think Vicious and Delicious are good enough that they separate one of them from the pack. They can definitely get the W.
Yes, guaranteed.
But they can't let Culture Inc. start running the ropes, man, and running those spots and getting on the rhythm. Once Culture Inc. gets into a rhythm, man, it's over for them.
Look at you, fantastic, putting up the notes. All right,
Hmm.
going on to the next one. I mean, championship on the line, but I think we already called it earlier. This would be an interesting matchup. Don't you think, Ron?
That Huckaby guy's a bum.
All right, so all right, I got about like 6 or 7 hits here. All right, William Huckaby gonna hit Maurice Moss. Maurice Moss gonna hit the ground. The ref gonna hit the ring 3 times, so we up to 5. And then the ambulance gonna hit about 80 on the way to the hospital. So I got 6. And I got William Huckaby as your winner.
Smart man.
Look. Well, you can't see because we ain't on screen, but I mean, I got the wallet out, and look, I put the wallet down.
Put some money down. Put some money. You heard it. You heard it. It was a hefty wallet.
Ooh, I heard. Look, I didn't have to see it to hear it. Ooh, Jesus.
Look, Maurice, you're a great talent. You have great athleticism. But I'm going to have to give this to Uncle Huck. He has to
Never
the things he said tonight.
You got more time in the ring than he's got time in his life.
There we go. Yeah, let's just go with that.
I can't do that.
We're gonna. This is the inaugural matchup, right? This is the first one. Whoever you are going to be the first Crystal Ice champion for Ice. That's my money. You have another nice gold, a nice little shiny thing around your waist there.
Nice little check, man. That'd be nice to have.
Lindsay Snow versus Victor Andrews.
Ooh, man.
I'm excited for this one.
I'm gonna let y'all go first. Hold on. Ooh.
Look, this is gonna be a clash of styles. They both have fighting background. Victor Andrews with the MMA and the boxing. Lindsay Snow with the jiu-jitsu. The submission moves. I can't. This is a hard one for me. But that being said, they're both for amazing talents. They're gonna try to be one-upping each other throughout the matchup. My money might be going on Lindsay Snow on this one.
Man, look,
she's a hard hitter and she could take some hits.
Man, look, I've known Victor Andrews for decades, and you're right. When it comes to boxing and throwing hands, But then I also say this: there are very few female wrestlers who I like to follow their matches. And Lindsay Snow is definitely one. We work together at IWE, and I tell her all the time, I don't like following your matches. I saw her have a hardcore women's match that I myself nominated for Match of the Year. Her and the other lady, they beat the piss out of each other. And I will also say this. I've only said this about one other female wrestler, and that was Casey Carlisle. And Lindsay Snow, in my opinion, when it comes to just sheer toughness, and nothing else, Lindsay Snow is right up there in my book with Casey Carlisle when it comes to being just total badass wrestlers, not even just female wrestlers, just total legit badass wrestlers. Um, but I had this thing where I never tried to vote against my Carolina homies, man. Uh, I never like, bro. I never go against the Carolina team, man. Me and him are basically from the same area. We're both from Eastern Carolina. Like, I gotta go with my man Vic Andrews. Like, I can't go against Eastern North Carolina.
Ron.
Man, look, here's where I'm at with this one.
Okay.
Victor Andrews been around a bit. Uh, Almost everybody in the Carolinas markets know who that man is, right? Would you agree with that? I mean,
Yeah,
I would agree. Yeah,
I'm in the upstate. I'm in the upstate of South Carolina, and I know who he is.
I'm sorry. Nobody should ever admit that they're from South Carolina.
I'm not. Hey, no, I'm not from here. I'm from DC. I'm from DC originally. I live here because cost of living is smart, and that's why I have a fat ass wallet. Is because I live in a place where it's cheap to live.
True.
So
Yeah,
I'm
you do
about my
that.
money. I'm about my money. So
As you were saying, so
here's my thoughts, man. Victor Andrews is a man's man. My only fear when it comes to him is the fact that he may over or underestimate Lindsay. So I think she might catch him with something. You say he's a boxer. She's jiu-jitsu. She's meant to be a defensive player. And you throw that jab wrong and she catch that arm, it's out of socket. That's how
You know,
that happens.
something else I don't think any of us are thinking about is that Victor is a gentleman as well, and like, will he be able to punch Lindsay Snow in the face?
Mhm.
Is he going to take it easy on her because she is a female and because he's that kind of guy? You know what I'm saying?
There's that thought, but this is business.
Mm.
This is business. It's not personal. So my thought becomes that winner's purse is better. I want that winning bag more than anything.
Yeah, but not everybody thinks like that. When it comes down to it, we're still people. Everybody has their own morals and stuff they grew up with, and it's like when it comes down to it, and Lindsay Snow's on the ground, can he pull the trigger and actually put her down like as if she was a male?
Mm-hmm.
So
that might cost him too.
Yeah.
That's
so who do you say, Ron? Who do you say?
I mean, I think Lindsay's gonna pull the upset off here. I really do. Just because of that, I feel like he may underestimate her a little bit, and he may let that gentleman shit get to his head, and she's gonna make him pay for it. She's gonna show I can run with the boys.
Yeah. All right. Next matchup: Jackson Drake versus Conan Lycan.
Jackson Drake is one of the fastest rising talents out of our region, period. And that's not saying anything to slight anybody else. It's just a fact of life at this point. In my estimation, the speed of Jackson Drake is going to overtake the power of Lycan, and Jackson Drake is going to walk away with that one. He might not walk real easy, but he's going to walk out with that win right there.
I'm going to give Jackson probably because he's my wrestling son. Like, I've known him since he was like 13 when he first started training. Like, when he was like a little baby. I'm going to give him probably one of the greatest compliments I could give somebody. Jackson Drake to me is his generation's Joe Black. And that's no disrespect to anybody else who Joe has given his battle beats to. But I knew Joe when he first broke into the business, and I've known Jackson since he first broke into the business. And I say that because I say this: Malachi getting signed to WWE was the greatest thing that happened to Jackson Drake. The same as when Cedric Alexander got signed to WWE, it was the best thing that happened to Joe because it lit a fire and it put a chip on the shoulder that nobody could knock off. And I think that we've noticed in the past few months, everybody's been like Malachi. Jackson he's just created this chip on his shoulder. He's coming to his own. He's confident as a young man. And I think, in my opinion, if you're a promoter or you're a booker and you should be bringing this kid in, before you should bring this kid in before it's too late. Like, I would not bet against. I would at this point in time. I would never bet against Jackson Drake whatsoever.
Dude,
Like this kid, he's angry. Not only is he talented, not only is he young, not only does he know what he's doing, but this kid is angry. You know what I'm saying? And when you put anger with talent, whoo, Lord Jesus, watch out.
dude,
Good
I
points.
hear a lot about Jackson Drake, believe it or not, from Luke Fury. I don't know if you know who Luke Fury is,
Mhm.
but dude, Luke will ride the roads with me. We'll travel together if we're working the same show because it's like normally an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I make sure he's taken care of. But he's constantly telling me about Jackson Drake, and when you've got other wrestlers who are constantly touting you, and even in this case, a slightly younger wrestler who's looking up to you and watching what you do and seeing the evolution and seeing how you handle yourself, it's a great thing to have regionally. It was excellent to see out of you mentioned his name a minute ago, and he just got signed to WWE.
Malachi.
Malachi,
Malika.
yeah, Malachi. It was great to see him doing the same thing and having these other younger wrestlers looking up to him. And all of a sudden he gets signed. A bunch of these younger wrestlers were like, "Holy crap! Now I know what to do. Now I know the blueprint." It's like they started following that same formula to solve the equation.
Mhm.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So watching him, I can't bet against the kid. David, what do you got on that one?
Neither can I. After watching him last night or the other night, ever since he's joined the process, you guys have both mentioned that anger. You've seen a more aggressive, more anger Jackson Drake. Now, the only caveat to that is that when you wrestle, you fight angry, we tend to make mistakes. Can't afford to make mistakes in this matchup. But if he's able to focus that and use that speed, that agility, that aggression that he's been building up, oh, he's more than capable to take a W.
Oh yeah, like I
Guaranteed.
said, like that kid is like I said, Malachi getting signed because I think that we all at one point because they came in together.
Yeah,
They
they
both
did.
started training the same day, and
Mhm.
everybody just kind of assumed that Jackson was going to be the first one to get signed. And I
Mhm.
think even Jackson thought that he was going to get signed before Malachi. And
Mhm.
so when it didn't happen, man, whew,
Yeah, yeah, and you could see some of that starting to bubble early on. When they were working together as the prodigies, and when they finally separated as a tag team, you really saw the difference there.
mm-hmm.
Really, you did. But either way, oh, that's going to be an amazing matchup. But again, I agree. I think we're all on the same page here. Jackson Drake takes the W here.
Oh yeah.
All right. And then we have Rob Killjoy versus David Ali. The
Oh,
fans
I
win
hate
on
Rob.
this one.
I'm about to, I hate Rob Killjoy. I love Rob Killjoy, but I hate Rob Killjoy. Ugh. And I've been in the ring with both of these guys, but I have to go with Rob Killjoy because he made me an honorary duck a few years ago.
That
Okay.
I
And
can see that.
and funny story, if you ask Rob
Hey,
Killjoy, he'll tell you that besides Lance, nobody has ever taken the launch pad better than me.
really? Huh.
You can ask him. You can message him and say, "Hey, who besides Lance, who's taking the launch pad better? And who's the best person to take the launch pad beside Lance?" And he'll say Huckaby.
Right on.
Or
That's awesome.
that night I was Will Duckaby, but yeah.
Well, Duck,
Lil Duckaby.
I love
Got
it. We got the Indie King on here, Mr. JT. Joe Thompson, you got the OG on the show, saying that dude
It's so
trained
crazy.
me.
I've known him. What's up, JJ? Like I've known him since he was JoJo Dancer, bruh.
JoJo
Oh
Dancer, right?
Jesus.
The card
I can
looks.
okay. I would say it now because I would because he was such a fuck up when he was younger. Just going off on the caveat, he was such a fuck up when he was younger when he first got to the business. But I'll say it now. JT, the Indie King, is one of my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I helped develop him, I helped train him. So Joe, you can now tell everybody, yeah, hey, Huckabee trained you, all right? Because I see what you're doing, and you're making great moves and stuff over in Eastern Carolina. But yeah, oh, Jesus.
it.
And he beat me with a leg drop one time. I'm not even lying.
Did you see our faces? Hold on. One more time. He did what?
Oh man, he beat me with a leg. So it was my fault. We were in the match. There was a blow off match, and it was supposed to be at the time his finisher was a famouser, and we had a referee. She said, "What's a famouser?" I said, "Oh, it's a leg drop to the back of the head." And he gave me a regular leg drop, and she fast counted. And I was trying to time her count, and she fast counted, and I just didn't kick out, and he beat me with a regular fucking leg drop.
I would have been so mad.
Oh, I was pissed. Oh, I was so pissed.
Oh my Christ. Well, here's the problem. She fast counted.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have happened. No way.
No, but it's my fault. I should have kicked out. Instead of trying to time and make it 2 and 7 to 8, I should have just kicked out.
True.
Yeah.
True. Ron, what do you say? Because that's a tough one. But
Killjoy,
versus David Ali.
Look, I mean, I got to go with Rob because he's just so unpredictable that that I got to go with Killjoy.
Yes, this is true. He has such an unorthodox style,
right?
That I don't think that he's up there with David Ali with the speed and the stamina. But it's gonna be quite a spectacular match.
That dude's got a gas tank.
They both do. Oh my goodness,
Killjoy's got a gas tank that can't be denied.
I mean, most of their matches, and I think it was like a running joke for a bit. Like if it's gonna be ugly duckling match or a David Ali match, it's gonna be longer than 10, 15, 20 minutes if that, because just how long these guys can go.
Mm-hmm. I will say this, man. Killjoy's been wrestling for definitely longer than me, for about 20 years, man. And you can't tell. You cannot tell that Killjoy, as far as the way his ring style and stuff, he's never slowed down since I've known him. And I've known him for like 16, 17 years. And he's been wrestling just like that. For as long as I've known him, since day one. Exactly. Like his style, I mean, he's got better, obviously, but as far as the tempo, the speed, the agility, the creativity, like, man, Killjoy's I'll tell you this: if you're a young wrestler and Rob Killjoy's in the locker room, you should legitimately pull up a chair beside him and just start asking him questions. Like, I think that Rob Killjoy is the George South of our generation.
Dude, he handles training right here in Chester, South Carolina.
Yeah.
For APW, what we call APW Chester, because there's two APWs.
I'm about to say, is he training for Jay Eagle? What the
hell? No. So, that's an off-air discussion that you and I can have. We will talk about things off air. I promise you that. Oh man. No. Different. That's American, and that company's not even. It's a different company now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You and me off air. When we get done this show, I'll catch up. I'll catch you up on everything here.
Well, that's the card, guys. That's pretty much our predictions.
No, it's not. You
hold on.
Through the main event, or I think is the main event.
Put it up.
You want me to do it now?
Did I miss? Alexander Moss and Jonathan. Oh my goodness! How did I forget that one?
I don't know, but
I was trying to get Moss on here to get his thoughts about this. This is a hell of a match,
dude. This is a showing for Moss that can change Moss's career.
Man, this is the match I want to see. This match is going to sell out the curtain. All right,
yes, Gorilla going to be packed.
Gorilla, this is going to sell out Gorilla. I'm not even lying to you. This match is going to be the one that sells out Gorilla. I literally might just sit in the crowd for this one. I don't give a shit. I would, if I wasn't booked in this show, I would buy a ticket just to watch this match.
Right.
And I will say this: I think Alexander Moss takes the W, and here's why. And this is no disrespect to Jonathan Gresham. I think he's an amazing talent. I think he's a once in a generation talent. When it comes to technical ability, there's nobody in professional wrestling right now, whether it's Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, nobody knows more about technical wrestling than Jonathan Gresham. Mm-hmm. He is this day's modern version of Johnny Saint, period. But I think that him losing the ROH title, and his whole situation with AEW and ROH and everything, I think that that's kind of I think that that's kind of messed with him a little bit. I think mentally he's not where he needs to be. I don't think he has that killer instinct back just yet. You know what I'm saying? And Alexander Moss has been wrestling for about 8-9 years now, and he's hitting his stride. He's in his stride. I've seen his promos that he cuts. I've seen him in Georgia a couple times, and man, I mean, he has gotten so much better exponentially since the last time I saw him before the pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's hard to bet against Alexander Moss. It's hard to bet against the truth, man. Whoo, Jesus. And like you said, I think this is a make or break match for him, and he knows it. See, okay, Maurice, I know you're still watching, Maurice. See, this is the match
He's
that
still
you
actually.
think that you're having. You know what I'm saying? This is not, see, me and you, this is not your make or break match versus me. See, Moss versus Gresham, this is his make or break match. See, this is the match that's going to take Alexander Moss to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Maurice, you versus me, see, this was just your, hey, do I belong in wrestling match? This is not the match you make your name off of. But yeah, I'm betting again. I'm betting on Alexander Moss. I'm betting on TGA, hands down. And I think not only is he going to win, I think he's going to win in dominating fashion. I think we're all going to be amazed when that bell rings how he beats Gresham. Matter of fact, I will put money down that he taps out Gresham.
Nah. I'm not taking that bet. I can't take that bet. I can't take that. I can't take that bet. Like, I'm a numbers guy, and I can't touch that bet. I don't like that.
I said he'll win, but not by submission.
I'm not even going to say he'll win. And here's the thing. You brought it up that you think it messed with his mind a little bit, you know, the ROH thing, the AEW thing, and this and the. Well, what better way? And I mean, people know college athletes and high school games as well. If you needed a tune-up, you would go kick the shit out of a lower classman, or you go kick the shit out of one of the lower graded teams or whatever. Y'all know that ranking shit. I don't know it that well because I don't watch that shit. But what I'm saying here is you putting a number 1 against a number 30. A rank 1 versus a rank 30, maybe. I don't know. You really crossing the divide here. In my opinion, this is going to be Jonathan Gresham's pick me up. He's going to hurt that boy just to make himself feel better. Like, really? That's where I'm at with it. Yeah. I think Gresham's going to hurt him just to make himself feel better.
No, I'm going to have to disagree. I've seen the change. I've seen the Alexander Moss into the TGA change.
I have too.
And it's an
aggressive
competitor. I've
known him since I got in 2020. And I'm telling you, even with the evolution of him that I have seen, Jonathan Gresham, I saw him. He was just around a couple weeks ago. Hurt somebody. Hurting people. Hurting is his business. He is by far one of the best grapplers on the planet today, breathing. You know, Huckaby, you said technical wrestler. I agree. He's very technical. I think he's one of the best grapplers, period, on the planet, breathing. I don't think that I would be remiss to say that it's kind of a almost dream match is seeing him and Lesnar. You know, I think that would be some serious shit. But this no, I can't bet against him. I
think that's why Moss is going to win, is because he's such a great grappler that he's just almost 100% certain that Moss is not going to wrestle that style. And I think that if Moss was smart, he would take it straight to him. And you don't have to be an amazing grappler to win. You just have to be really good at the basics. If you can tap him out with a top wrist lock, you can tap him out with a top wrist lock. You can choke him out with a headlock. You can give him a front chancery. Any of these simple, basic wrestling moves can win a match. So TGA doesn't have to be the best grappler in the ring.
He just has to have a hold.
He just has to have a hold. And there's no way that unfortunately, because of his stature, there's no way that Gresham is not going to get within arm's reach of Moss.
Right. I know what
So
you
it
mean.
could be coming down to who grabs a hold first.
Yes.
Well, not only that, but look at the size difference in these guys weight wise. Okay.
Mhm.
And
Oh, well,
that strength wise.
Gresham has that hands down. Musculature, strength, yeah.
Right. So if Gresham grab a hold of Moss, he's gonna pop him like a pimple. That's where I'm at.
Okay,
That's
so
where
let
I'm
me
at.
Saint, you're kind of young and you don't remember this. Do you remember the boxer Roy Jones?
Roy Jones Jr. or Roy
Yes,
Jones?
Roy
Yes.
Jones Jr.
Roy Jones Jr. Yes.
Remember when he got knocked out by Tarver?
No. I don't.
Okay, I do because I lost $300 for that fight. All right, and and then
I don't know if I was old enough to be betting on shit back then. Damn.
I'm aging myself now, but I speak for all the other old heads when I say we just knew that Roy Jones, who's basically undefeated at that time, was going to just wipe the floor with Tarver, and then Tarver knocked him out, and then the very next match, Roy Jones was like, "Oh, I'm just going to fight some unranked guy, and get my feet back underneath me," and then the unranked guy knocked him out worse than Tarver did. and after that, Roy Jones was never the same boxer after that. You know what I'm saying? So just because when you compare Gresham to Moss, Moss is that number 30 ranked team. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that he can't win.
Mhm.
I've said it with Maurice, and I'll say it with Maurice, and I'll say it with this match. Any man with a heartbeat in two hands can win.
Oh,
You know what I'm
agree.
saying?
Mm.
The only question is the person that's going to win is the person who's willing to take it the furthest. And I think that Moss is willing to take it there. I think that unlike Gresham, Moss is willing to get down and dirty. He's willing to cheat and he's willing to use those little slick tactics that he's learned wrestling around the Carolinas. You know what I'm saying? And I think Gresham has too much pride because he's such a great grappler that he's not willing to take those shortcuts like Alexander is.
That's a good point. That's an excellent point. That's a good point.
Man.
Yeah, that might be a pride thing. Yeah.
Hey, look, anything's possible. That ref's hand can always hit 3.
I'm just looking forward to this match. I'm not even gonna lie.
Hey,
I've been
no,
a
that was
fan-
like a great just debate between the three of us there. But yeah, that's 2-1 here, Ron. I
Hey,
agree with
look.
Luck. It's going to be Alexander Moss with the
That's
W.
fine. That's fine. Hey, I've been the underdog most of my life, bro. Shit.
you, man.
Yeah.
If I told you my wrestling journey, you'd be surprised. Okay.
We get ready to get off air, and we gonna sit in here for a bit. So trust me, we're gonna hear some shit. And not only that, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you the same. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all we haven't announced it yet, but we got a show coming up Tuesday of next week where we have a one-on-one sit-down interview with a wrestler. We'll unleash the flyer. I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go ahead and say, Huckaby, we need to go ahead and get you scheduled for one of these two.
Yeah.
A full,
Hey, man,
a
that's
full show
fine,
where we
man.
cover your career. We
Yeah.
cover the whole
Oh,
thing from the
Jesus.
beginning to the end.
Yeah.
We
let's
just did
do that.
one. We just did one with Johnny Faith. We've done a couple of them before anyway, but now all of a sudden it's like everybody wants this unedited, unhinged, unrestricted free for all. Say what you want as long as it don't affect your money. I don't give a shit what you say.
Yeah.
I'll give you all the
we
same
don't have
rules
to-
I give the legends. I don't
We're
care.
gonna have to book my interview in like sections like surviving R. Kelly. It's gonna have to be surviving Will Huckaby.
Jesus Christ. Nice.
The
Nice.
story
You
part
gotta,
one.
you gotta think about it like this, man. And before we go off the air, you gotta think about it. For a long time, I traveled with Joe Black for years, right? But then me and Joe Black was also traveling with Brian Logan from West Virginia. And if there's any fans in the chat right now who knows Brian Logan, you know that's an entire 2-hour episode by itself.
Good.
Like, I'm not gonna tell the stories, but just knowing that we traveled with Brian Logan and he kind of showed us the road, you know what I'm saying? Whew, it's crazy, man. But yeah, I'll definitely come up here and share some stories
Yeah.
and talk about
road stories. That should be a segment. Road stories. That's what we'll call it. On this week's road story.
There's already a podcast called Wrestling Road Stories, so we're not doing that.
Okay. Well, we'll workshop.
And they're cool
We'll
people. And they're cool people. They're good people.
Who they ever beat? Fuck them.
I don't know who they beat.
Who they ever beat? Oh, I love that.
I don't know, but we've seen the dude at a bunch of shows, man.
Yeah,
Believe it
we
or not,
have.
I bet you've seen his ass at shows. I
Probably.
guarantee you've seen him at shows.
Can you beat them up? If you can beat them up, then fuck them.
Hey, let's.
I probably can. I probably can.
I got your back. Just tag me in. Tag me in.
Am I for that?
Tag me in.
I'm a ring announcer, buddy. I ain't shit else.
He's not a bump and feed boy, apparently.
No, I am not. I bumped for Killjoy because he just said, do this. We're getting paid. I'm like, yes, sir. That's it. That was it. We sold shirts.
That's funny.
Yes, we sold shirts to have a wrestling match in the fucking yard of a bar.
That's funny.
That's dope.
That's smart too.
It took me 3 times washing my suit to get that shit out so I could go to the show the next day.
Terrible.
Oh well,
we're definitely have to set that up.
Yep.
We're definitely
we will
have
definitely
to
get that one
get that situated. Thank you so much for your time, Huck.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the card. That's the show this Friday night in Lexington, North Carolina, Elevation Pro Wrestling Training Center. That's going to be at 599 8th Railroad in Lexington, North Carolina. Tickets for adults are $10. Kids are $5. Doors open at 6:30 with the first match starting at 7. Don't miss out. Be there. Hit Club Pro.
Dude. All right. Everybody at Hit Club Pro, thank y'all for coming out. And folks, we will see you at the show. We will also see you Thursday night right back here for the Wrestling Wire. And beyond that, we will just see you at the Indies.
Deuces.